Welcome to another camping video. Got the big bag out today with lots of stuff. I've got old stuff, I've got new stuff, and I've also got stuff for continuous testing. So I'm going to get unpacked, get set up, and then I'll show you what I'm using. Now I've had to go quite low in this location because as per normal it's not one that I have permission for. I should not be here. So we're trying to keep a little bit stealthy, hence low down ground dwelling. I've got the front elevated purely to try and get some air under it because it is still quite warm. Also I've got the bug net in there. It is the bug net that belongs to my decathlon hammock really, but at this height there's enough slack in the bug net that it, pulls on the floor and you can get sleep mat and everything in there no problem. So hammock, bug net, but in a ground dwelling formation. I've got the Unigear P3 sleep mat in there. Just before I throw the sleeping bag in there, I thought I'd show you it, but I'm going to have to film it out here because it's a monster. I'll show you what I've got. It's going to be too warm, I think, for today, certainly. But I wanted to give it another test night before I come to a conclusion. Right, the Camphy bed. They rate it as a 30 Fahrenheit or -1. So I suppose you're looking at 3 seasons for the UK. I think it's going to be far too much for tonight. But I wanted to do this final test with it because I have been testing it for a little while now. It's jungle bag weather really, but rather than stuff it in there, I thought I'd get it out here so you get the idea of the size of it. It is a large, to be fair. They do a regular. I think I would have been alright with the regular. When you see the size of the large, I'll have to step back from the camera and unroll it. I don't know how much of that was in shot, but it's about 7.5, 8 foot long. It's absolutely massive. I'm quite looking forward to using it in the colder weather, but I wanted to bring it out and give it another test today. So cram this in the bug net. Okay, that's everything in the bug net. So I've got the Unigear sleep mat in the bottom, Unigear sleeping bag on top. Both bits have been sent to me for testing, and this is sort of their final phase. I've got my little cheap pillow in there to make things a bit more comfy, hopefully. And I'm just about there. I'm just about done. So I'm going to have a sit down. A mate should be joining me in about half an hour or so, but he doesn't know the location. So I'm going to have to go and meet him. Right, what time we got? It's, about 3:30. So I've got half an hour or so until my friend turns up. My friend Trevor, some of you have possibly seen him on my videos before. He's never camped in here. He doesn't know this location, so I've got to meet him at the edge of the wood and basically show him where I am. Until that time, beer o'clock. Right, we've got a little folding fire out today. It's been very dry the last few months. Well, it's quite a dry winter really, and the ground, well, it wouldn't take much for it to go up. So I'm not taking any risk today. Not even sure we're going to have a fire. If we do, going to have it on this little kiddie instead, just to be on the safe side. Winter time in the past, we've had fires in the back corner here. You can see a few scorch marks on the root of this fallen tree. It's just too risky now. It's way too dry, so that is the way forward. We've got this little sort of a seating area where set up for sleeping. It's just through there, about 50 feet into the trees. But there's fallen trees here. There's one here and one that's just in front of the camera. Ideal for little seats around the fire. So this will be the evening communal area before going off to sleep. God, as soon as you start filming, smoke. Well, the fire's going. Time's getting on. It's going to be time for dinner soon, if you can see me through the smoke. What have we got? Prepared at home. Bit of beef curry and some Thai jasmine rice. Just prepared at home and put it in the zip seal freezer bags. So that'll be just mixed up, dropped in the old stainless steel pot, and I'll stick that on the fire. If I survive the smoke, of course. Right, make a little space. And put tonight's dinner on. It was heating up a bit quick, so gone the tripod method and it elevated it a little. Hot, 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 hot. Good though. Well, I was going to show you my view, but it's just too dark for this camera. I can't show you. Although you can probably see that bloody smoke. Oh, Christ. Basically, where I'm sitting, I'm looking at the fire, but if I look straight up, there's a big gap in the tree canopy there, and all this very clear night. All the stars are out, and yeah, got a really nice view of either the fire or the stars, depending which way I want to look. Shame I can't film it, but there we go. That's what you get when you haven't got an expensive camera.
Good morning. Well, it's just after 7. I had a really nice, comfy night. I'm rating that Unigear sleep mat. That's very comfortable. I've used it in several different locations now, and it's always worked well. And the sleeping bag, it was a bit too warm for last night. I was very warm, but it is comfortable. It's nice to sleep in. It's got a nice texture to it, and it's a decent size, so you move about. It's more like being in bed with a duvet over you, really. Yeah, both of them work well. But I'm up now, and before anything else, it's time for coffee. Now, I tried filming this last night, but it was too dark. That's where the fire was, right in front of me. Looking up, I had like a window through the tree canopy, and that was just an absolute blanket of stars. It was a lovely clear night. It's all cloudy this morning. They have forecast showers for later, which would be quite welcome, because it's so dry. But yeah, it was a lovely, lovely clear evening. I don't think I've ever seen so many stars in one spot. It was absolutely perfect. That's where I was last night, between the two trees, very little disturbance, and yeah, no one will know I've been there. That'll do nicely. Always leave no trace, guys. Right, all packed in the bag, ready to go. Had an enjoyable night. The gear that I brought worked out well, comfortable, very warm, perfect really. Nice meeting up with Trevor again, haven't seen him for a little while, that's always good. That's why there wasn't too much evening filming today, because there was an awful lot of talking going on. But very enjoyable camp. Right, just got to pack my chair down, stuff that inside, and it's time to walk off.